So, VELLANO wheels for the wife's car, and some more for my car. So, these are a set of VELLANO 18 and the 19-inch staggered setup. Just make this really easy. Again, VELLANO wheels made in America. So, I am really excited. Customer. So the finish is a matte gunmetal. The rears are 18 by 11, fronts are 19 by 9, as you can see there. So I don't know which box is which, so I just want to open these up. I'm super nervous. Let's see how these look. Talk about packaging also. So it has this on top, and then look at the foam around this thing. Ooh. Oh, I'm in love. I'm in love. I can't wait to get these out. Guys, I mean, so we just do this teaser, you know, a little bit more teaser. Just cleaned up her car actually, but her car is I think it's a matte black face because it looks almost has a little sheen to it. I'm not sure if that's from just cleaning it so much. And then it has a brushed anodized clear lip. So we brushed the lip on this and then anodized it clear, and we did the same thing for the barrel. Now for this, again, it's just, and then it has a flush center cap. We get to dictate that too from VELLANO. Again, all made in the USA, and you can do hidden bolts, non-hidden. Again, this wheel is 100% one off, so let's take a look. Oh yeah, I'm in love. So I wanted a 5-spoke. They didn't really have anything I was in love with. And this is just, they sent me renderings a couple months ago, and I'm like, this is it. Like, this is the wheel. I had some specification, it had to be a 5-spoke. I wanted to have a more tuner look. That is more, I would call luxury, or what you would see on like I'm not sure the word I'm looking for. Like maybe even a stance car, or maybe like a Mercedes, something like that. It's a little bit classier wheel. This is more of a tuner looking wheel, and I love it. So the face of it is a matte gunmetal, and then we did a brushed black lip. So instead of a just standard black lip, if you guys, it's hard to see here, but this is actually brushed. It's in my garage. Once you get out in the sunlight here, be able to see a little bit better. And the fitment is great. So this is 19-inch front, 18-inch rear, which I'll show you in a second. Decent sized lip on the front again. You can only do so much. You can only get away with so much at least. So look at that. That's a 365 millimeter rotor. I could probably fit this. Actually, I know I could get that around her 380 millimeter setup. It's the same caliper on hers. It's just a bigger rotor. I went to a slightly smaller rotor this time around, just so I could fit some different wheels in case, because this gives me a little bit more room. I can get back in here a little bit easier. Plus, the brake looks awesome in there. Just, oh my God, look at that. Perfect. Now, let's look at the rear. Now, this is the creme de la creme. He made sure to sink this sucker back so we have as big of a lip as possible. So the face is a little bit flatter than the front, which has more of like a spoke that rounds out. But again, look at this. And talk about clearance. What I mean, look, I mean, it's not too close to people like fear of like grinding or anything, or any craziness of that. I still get my finger like back in here. It's just at that tip right there. Everything fits. I already tightened these two down just to make sure like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It fits, and it fits. It fits. I am just, it's awesome. Again, that brushed black lip, matte gunmetal face, and we did the barrel also in the brushed black. You can leave that, you don't have to get that done, but it makes it a lot easier for cleaning down the road, things of that nature. So I'm just blown away. I love this matte finish. And when he sent me pictures, the face looked really light. I was like, man, it looks silver. But now that I see it in person, it's a lot darker. And I think it's because the lip is so dark, but the contrast, I love it. I absolutely love this look. If you guys can't tell by my voice, I am just pumped. And it makes the brakes look a little bit darker too, which is what I wanted. When I got these, when they don't have the wheel around it, they look too light for me. And I was like, man, they look too like neon greenish. I was not happy. I wanted like a British racing green. And now with the black wheel, it's sucked back in there. Looks great. So I got to find the hubcaps, or the center hubcaps. The center caps, which are in one of the boxes, they just put them all in one box. So I just got to find them here. I'll put them in nicely, but I don't want to put them in until we get the tires, which are mounted tomorrow. Finally found the center caps in there. It was, of course, in the last box, but it matched it to the exact color. Right there, dead center, made in America, USA, VELLANO forged wheels. Just like my work wheels, just presses in and uses an O-ring. I always like grease this up, use something, but all four are in here. I didn't check for valve stem seals. I'm not sure if it comes with those or not. That's something I need to look into. So then you get a certificate of authenticity. You see the inspection number, certificate, and who did it. Then you get one of these, which just tells you like the run out for the side-by-side of the wheel, because obviously no matter what, they're never 100% perfect, but damn near close. So each wheel, there's a printout. I have this for also saved for her wheels, which I thought was pretty cool. They also tested these to make sure they could handle a little bit faster, because I told them, like, look, I'm going to be using, wrong side. The other side doesn't have the wheels on it. I'm going to be using these to go quite fast. Like, are they going to be able to hold up? He's like, well, let us test them, make sure. We're going to run them through the simulator. And they passed. I just want to make sure, you know, these wheels, some of them aren't designed to really go for the big boys, or go fast. And we want to make sure these will. So I am beyond excited. The color is literally perfect. Again, matte gunmetal face and then a brushed black lip. And the rear is what really gets me. I'm excited to get tires on these. That is what I'm most excited about. I just want to say thank you again to VELLANO, because I don't say it this way and I hate this way, but they sponsored the wheels on my wife's and now this. So they are, as anyone else would say, they're free wheels, but it's marketing that they're giving in return. And they've been beyond kind to me. Aiden's the only one I've ever spoken to over there. I don't know who else is over there, but thank you guys so much. I know they're an American company. They're a veteran-owned company on top of it. These guys have been more than kind to me. I love their packaging with everything, the fit, the finish, and like I said, custom as custom gets. Unlike even if you get a work wheel, this or that, whatever color you want, whatever design within reason, you can get it. Like I said, if you wanted these bolts to be hidden, you wanted this to be a blind wheel, it could have been done. These are a true 3-piece wheel. So I was like, you know what? I want to show those bolts. I want people to know that this is a 3-piece wheel. Again, if you want the barrels rolled, you want the lips rolled, you can do it. You want them clear coated, whatever you want. You want the wheels bright red, they'll do it. This is called the VFX, by the way, guys. So the specs are as follows. This is the front wheel. Let's do this first. This is a 19x9 front wheel. Okay, it is a plus 44 offset. The specs for the color are brushed black with a matte gunmetal face, and the centers are also matte. You can get these if you want to. You can get the bolts changed out if you want it to be flush mounted where you can't see them. This is a true 3-piece wheel. You can have these hidden. You could have chrome hardware. Again, any color, shape, design you want, they can do it. Now, that is the front specs. Again, 19x9 plus 44, matte gunmetal face, brushed black lips and barrel. Now, for the rear, this is an 18x11 for the rear, guys, okay? 18x11, and then the same colorway. It is a matte gunmetal face, brushed black lips, and it is a plus 44 offset. Again, so 18x11 plus 44 is the actual wheel specs, and again, the same colorway. Oh my God, tomorrow I get the tires on, I can't wait. I'm just pumped. The only thing they didn't have in stock, I just won't have metal, oh my gosh, valve stem caps, I have rubber, whatever. I really don't care. They'll be black. It doesn't matter. It's on a black lip too, so you really won't be able to see it. I am pumped. I love having a completely coated wheel, keep corrosion out, and it's a lot easier to clean that way. And I think this will hide brake dust a lot better too. Like the matte gunmetal will really hide brake dust, and just looks so sick. Beyond pumped. Thank you guys again. VELLANO, y'all the best. This is amazing. So I'm actually pretty happy with the way the stance is right now. The front here, I got about a finger or so as I call it. So, and once the coilover settle, they'll settle to where I want it to, and the wheel's not straight right now either. So I don't want to mess with that. But the rear is too much. Even for, I know it's going to scrub a little bit, but I can get almost 3 fingers in there. Get it? Ha, that's too much. So I'm going to turn the coils down on both sides. About 4 turns, 5 turns to lower it down some, and then it'll settle from there. I don't want to go too low. So the battery just died there. So yeah, 4 or 5 turns. And I think that'll get me closer, because even on hers, I have it up because I do pretty flush fitment, but hers is even just a little bit higher. So I'm going to do 4 or 5 turns. I think that's going to get me to where I want it to be even after it settles. I think it should be good. I got both sides measured up already, so it makes it a little bit easier. I just got to pop the wheels off, and then, yeah, just turn the coilovers down. Brand new coilovers are so nice for that reason. Like, you can just do it that easily. And I think once I get this aligned to it, it'll really square it up, and I think I'll be really happy with the look. One other thing I recommend, guys, is also coating the inside barrel. Just for my sake, I like having something that's easy to clean. When you leave raw aluminum, it gets corroded easier, blah, blah, blah. Black barrel makes it even nicer, you can't see it. I do like that the place I use there, Blue Balls, I can't thank those guys enough. They actually have different colors too for the wheel weights. They're like, hey, would you like black wheel weights? I'm like, yeah, you can't see them at all. Not like, I think 99% of people aren't gonna notice, so it doesn't matter anyways, but I think that's a nice little touch. And the wheels balance out nice, and they were road force balanced. Again, I want to give that example for here. So her inside barrels are brushed clear, and you can see this used, can you see it back there? This almost has claw marks inside where they had to grab the wheel. Unfortunately, it kind of, lack of better words, bitched up the wheel, where this was a touch-free system. So the inside barrel is completely smooth and clean. There's no chew marks, none of that, which is exactly what I wanted. You can see they coat everything too, not just the faces, the back, and they tape everything off here, so there's no coating on that, so give a a good clamping area. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. Just wanted to show that. Again, they look great. I end up doing exactly 4 turns, and this is how I always make it easy on myself too, is use a black Sharpie and mark part of the coilover. New coilover is nice too, because I can literally spin this by hand and have to use a tool to spin it down. So yeah, I did 4 turns, and it took from the top here to the very bottom lip of this was 13 inches. So make sure both sides were the same, and we're good to go. So working on a couple other things here, guys, working on the intercooler piping. So I got it done, fabricated wise. The only thing else I'm gonna have to add and drill is going to be for the blow-off valve. I went ahead and put the IAT sensor hole in there. I've got a bung right here I'm going to use. So there's the IAT sensor hole, and I'm gonna probably have to trim this down a little bit because I don't need that much excess metal. I don't have the proper tools, so I'm doing my best here. This is all gonna get powder coated too. So the goal is to get it done, get it fitted, get the car running, and then I'm hoping I can take down the VagWorks and be like, hey guys, best friends of mine, can you, give me a 24-hour turnaround, buddy old pals? Because I can't leave it like this. It looks like poop, and I don't want it to look like that. So I'm gonna ask them for a favor. I also did the other side here. So PHR, Powerhouse Racing, sent me theirs, and it fits absolutely fine. The only thing, I'm really weird about this. So most of the kits require you just make a little notch right here in the bumper. It's not a big deal. I'm just like, I don't feel like doing it. So I'm using their top piece, which is really nice. See how it like comes down snakes. And then for the bottom piece here, it comes off here, comes over, and then directly in. So you can see before, and this is even my old intercooler piping, it would rub, and you could see the overspray paint that was on there knocked it off. And it was starting, you can see it there, cracking the bumper, just like this side was doing it too. It's really bad over here, cracking the bumper. Now I put that Extreme 90 in there. Unfortunately, it's still just barely resting against the bumper, but not pushing out against it like it was before. So you can see there, it just rests against it. Just the very tip of it there is that very back of the bumper. Still not happy about that. Probably could have brought it in some, but then trying to line up with the hole that was already pre-existing was my next dilemma. So it was kind of a catch-22. Where on this side I didn't have to worry about it. So I cut this down just a smidge, just bead rolled it there, and I just bead rolled the other end here. Again, using the Raceworks bead roller. This thing comes in handy. Like, this is awesome. I'm not sure how it does on stainless, but that's only 2 spins, and look how nice that is. It's a little wavy there because the end of this isn't perfectly straight. Again, my tools aren't the greatest when it comes to cutting pipe and stuff. And then this is gonna go in between these 2 pipes. I marked it there, so when I take it over to my welder, Austin, he can weld this all up for me. But everything's cleaned up, so the edges are all smooth here on both sides, and I cleaned up the edges on that too. So we just gotta line it up, weld it on. Oh, and then for the blow-off valve, I'm using one of these Lennox hole saws. So this is 1 3/4. Now, the actual OD, or the outer diameter of this, is 2 inch, but I don't want to take that chance because the OD is 2 inch. Then you have about 1/8 thickness of a flange, so it only leaves you about 1/8 there. And if I need to, I'll Dremel out that little bit inside so it's perfectly smooth after we're done welding and getting everything on. I'll take my Dremel in there and smooth that all out. Again, that'd be like a 1/16 or 1/8, and I'd rather just hog that out by hand than take the chance of all the time it took me to get to this. I'd rather take the chance of just spending a little time hogging that out versus anything else. I guess I could get something else that's a little bit more exact, but I think 1 3/4 is gonna work perfect. And that should work really for any other blow-off valve too, whether it be Tile, Turbo Smart, so on and so forth. But this is for my Go Fast Bits one. So we're close, guys. I'm really pumped about this. This was on my list of things to do on top of the transmission, which is still not done. All right, guys, so here is my original PHR mid-pipe. Hopefully I have a picture. Hopefully this works unlike the last video where the video didn't work. But this was their old mid-pipe from my old turbo kit. I kept it and I was like, oh, this should work. And they're like, well, we actually made a revision. Like, well, before you guys send me some more parts, let me try and make this one work. Fortunately, the angle was slightly different and then the length was different. Length is easy. I could cut off the flange, shorten it, but the angle, that's where you got to dick with it. Didn't want to do it. So they sent me a brand spanking new one with new Clampco clamps. Now I used a Clampco clamp there, but I'm using a Raceworks one here just because this area, and I like it that they do this, there's a reason why, but I like these quick clamps because you already have the nut on it and it has a swing hinge on it. So as soon as you get close, you swing the hinge down, boom, it's locked in. You don't have to try and get a nut on and get a wrench on it. Boom, you got it close enough, and then you can tighten it from there. Love this design. Now, people always ask, like, why do they put the clamps up there? Well, the reason is, this is like your lowest point right here. This is where stuff always hits. If this is moved here, now you got it even lower. It's better for it to sit right here. It keeps from stuff hitting it, dragging on it, less chance of bottoming out. And you can see how close it is to the body out already to keep this 4-inch pipe. Because at the end of the day, guys, no matter what you do, unless you go, you'd see how close it is. It just barely sits below the body, but the lowest point is always right here. It tucks up and under as it goes, but this is your worst point. So having the clamp like right here or right there is horrible. You can see it sits just below the body. My old one actually, you'd see where I bottomed it out before. Didn't like dent the pipe or anything, but I definitely scraped. My car was a lot lower. Now, ever since I raised it up and don't have dummy low anymore, never been a problem. But yeah, you can kind of see it here too. Again, it's not hateful, but there's a reason why they put it there. Less chance of it getting hung up. And then these ones back here don't matter, especially that one. This one sets up high enough. And yes, it does clear a 3.5-inch drive shaft and a 4-inch because I had a 4-inch drive shaft on this before. Now, next thing asked, yes, this is a PHR exhaust, but I had my buddy weld on this straight pipe and got rid of the muffler. I switch it out. So I still have my burned stainless muffler that goes with it. So this is a full PHR, everything. Turbo kit, down pipe, mid pipe, exhaust, all of it is PHR. Wanted to show you guys this too. This is the intake pipe, all finished and done. My buddy Austin welded up for me. Again, you guys saw, I did all the cutting and stuff, and then he welded up for me. I think it got it pretty damn well, so I used 245s. And the way it works really easy for me is I kind of like using a mixture of both. At least it works out in my advantage. Using a quick clamp out here means I don't have to slide into something. It just kind of sits here. So I don't have to like finagle and have to get this hole perfect and all that good stuff. But it also helps me that down below, I don't have a quick clamp because it leaves me a lot more playroom because I can slide the pipe in and out, so on and so forth. So down below is a 3 to 3.5-inch coupler. It expands out because I like the look of the 3.5-inch pipe up above. And then down below is 3-inch, same thing over there. So it's 3-inch the whole way over. The only reason I did 3.5-inch up here is aesthetics, 100% aesthetics. I just think it looks better, and that's a 4-inch hole. Again, Go Fast Bits blow-off valve. We are using some Raceworks fittings, and then we have the Raceworks IAT sensor. It is stainless steel, uses a Deutsch connector, as you can see right here. So I really, really like this setup. I think it works out great. Again, Raceworks clamp too. It is quad O-ring, so there's 2 O-rings here, 2 O-rings here. I think that really helps seal things up, and it also makes it easy when you're pushing on. If you ever work with these, when you just have one O-ring one, it kind of wants to cock itself when pushing it on, or wants to go this way or that way. And if you've never worked before, you're not going to understand what I'm saying, but if you have, they just don't ever want to line up. Having 2 O-rings or 2 flat surface areas almost allows it to sit on there and not cock itself. So when you're putting it on, it slides on, put the clamp around, and done. 1 bolt, which I do like. I like this design over the Tarks. Tarks makes a nice setup too. Here's a Tarks, this is only 3-inch, but they put the bolt here, so when you're trying to slide it in, it goes in, then it wants to fall out versus being right on top. I guess aesthetically, maybe, but what you can do is, I just put it on top because I like to get to it. You can flip it around, and I could have this on the bottom side if I wanted, because this is a blind hole on this side, so you wouldn't see it at all. I personally would rather just on top so I can see it pretty easily. That's my personal opinion. So yeah, that is it. Now this stuff needs to go off to powder. I'm gonna take it down to VAGWorks per usual. So I'm gonna probably get it up in the lift here today. I'd like to run down there today and get that taken care of. Cause I just don't want it not finished up. So yeah, thank you guys very much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you again to VELLANO Wheels. You guys killed it. This looks awesome. I love that. I'm glad, so glad I went to a 19-inch in the front just because too, I get that big brake. The only thing I might change in the future is I might go to a little bit bigger tire. The 305/35 is a great tire. We'll see. I might go to a 305/40 just to get like close to like 27.5 inches in the rear. Get a little bit more sidewall too, but I always like staying with an 18-inch if possible. Street car life, but I might need a little bit more sidewall, and I think we'll be good. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Talk to you later. Peace.